Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Watch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn, he'll get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Campos Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here he is.
Wow.
Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer.
Ah, yeah!
Right. Okay, so Coach Sam's, I'm about to go on the radio. I'm trying to see what All right, cool. Let's plan on Friday then. Friday, we'll finish it up. Big Finish Friday with Coach Sam.
As the captain would say, yes, it is the captain here on 93.7 The Ticket. He is with us here in a second, finishing up a phone call there. But we also have, we don't have Terrell Farley, but we will have Terrell Farley back pretty soon. But the captain is indeed with us.
Red Room! Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Is this thing on?
I think it's on.
I don't even got headphones on. The captain upgrading.
Oh, yeah. Sound good.
You see this guy right here?
Oh, yeah.
That guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's Caleb Pfeiffer. That guy.
Mm.
That was a year and a half ago. See the guy standing, and he's 6'7", 280. He's got offers all across the country. Guess where he goes to school at?
Probably your alma mater.
No.
Omaha
Central.
Oh, okay.
This guy right here, this other guy right there, see that guy right there? 6'3", 310. Guess where he goes to school at?
Omaha Central?
Omaha North. An offensive tackle and a defensive lineman. This guy. These two guys on the end, they're coming back. Quentin Newsom, Farmer, they'll be back. Caleb, Tanner, wish you all the luck, buddy. I hope that they put you in the right position to be successful in the NFL, which they always do. I can see Caleb Tanner, because he's still raw, being a dude in the NFL once he learns how to be that dude. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Coach Rule! Turn 49.
A young 49.
Listen, man, I'm about to turn 48, so I kind of can. We're in that same bracket of people. You know, we're close in age. He's a year older than I am, but man, I'm telling you, Coach Rule is smacking me around, making me understand that it's a new rule in Nebraska. Accept it. And let's move on to bigger and better pastures. By the way, that was Coach Sam's on the phone. Tony Samuels. And we're going to try to get him on Friday. So make sure you guys are listening on Friday. We're going to get Coach Sam's on. We're going to talk a little turkey. We're going to talk 3-3-5 defense. I just want to I got questions. I mean, you got a defensive guy who's been in the business for a long time, coach defensive ends. He'll be able to tell us exactly kind of what that mindset is. I called Coach McBride today. I'm calling everybody. It's off season. We don't got nothing else to do, so we might as well talk to some people. How's that sound, Bach?
That sounds pretty good. I think we're all kind of in this learning curve of the 3-3-5 and what it can represent. And I think the coaching staff, kind of listening to Terrence Knighton yesterday is still kind of ironing that out, I suppose. I mean, when he was talking about his specific assignments and what they're going to get up there, I think it's still kind of figuring out what you have on the roster and how to best utilize that. And that might change the game plan from week to week. You might run a lot more 4-man front one week, 5-man front if you're playing, one of those running teams. You bring those guys up to the line. You switch it up and it should be more flawless when you go and play. Well, it's weird because last year I would say Purdue, and this year I might say Wisconsin. But the teams that want to kind of throw it around the yard. So it brings a lot of versatility to it. I think you'll see different packages. I think you'll see different players highlighted and different strengths from week to week, and I'm excited about it. I think initially when you hear 3-3-5 and you hear the 3-man front, you think the Big Ten, nah, that's just not going to work. But if it is, if they get enough meat up there and you can push some of those guys up front, it's not necessarily that you're going to stick with 3 down linemen unless it's 3rd and long and stuff like that. And I hope they don't do it that time too. I think they will, but I've never been a proponent of rushing 3 on 3rd and long. Just not my guy.
For what I know about the 3-3-5, though, it is more of a rush defense. They're going after, they're getting after, or blitz defense. Okay, so that you don't know where the blitz is coming from. By the way, Chris Raff slapping me around. Rule was born in 1975. My bad. So same class. Even better. So he'll be 48. He's turned 48. Okay, Raff. Thanks a lot, Rafter. Rafter always looking from the rafters.
That's right.
Appreciate you keeping on VJ honest. Now, wait a minute. Time out. He says, sounds like VJ talking down the hallway. Now, stop it. Seriously?
It sounds pretty good. I wouldn't worry about it.
All right. I'm just saying, man. Burnt cheese? I'm going to go check. Cornstat says this. Tanner reminds me of an underdeveloped Randy Gregory. Development is no fault of his own. He's not a Randy Gregory. He's just not a Randy Gregory. I can't give you that, Cornstat, because Randy Gregory is like 6'5", dog, 250, 260. I mean, Caleb is what, 6'2", 225 tops?
Yeah,
he's gonna have to, depending on where he's gonna play in the NFL, he's gonna have to put on weight, and then he's gonna have to work on his footwork. Because he's gonna have to play an outside linebacker type. I can see him. You know who he reminds me of? If he developed, Levante David. He'd be a Levante David type. If, again, development is key to any football player in his development of getting better in his career.
See, both those guys to me are, whether it's Randy Gregory or Levante David, body comparisons aside, they have things that you can't teach. And that's like, I know development's important, but that they have just some athleticism that just, you can't just take any guy off the street and develop him into it. So, it's tough. It's tough to be in the NFL. Caleb Tanner, I think, has got probably an uphill battle. I think, a lot of those guys that are probably, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Anybody that's probably not in the getting drafted type of category is going to have that. But all you can ask for is a shot. And many guys around the league can make it from that undrafted position and being overlooked. And I'm telling you this, he'll definitely, the moment he walks into the locker room, and you'll notice him. You'll say, oh, that guy's a rookie. Wow, okay. Because he has done a good job in the weight room over the years.
Yeah, well, let's look at this. So there's some news coming out of Husker country. See, we'll bring it to you. Box got some interesting information. The Foley and Knighton audio. This is the first time I've heard it. I've kind of heard excerpts about people talk about it a little bit, but I've never heard it live. So this is my first time listening to it. We'll listen to it and we'll come right back.
All right, let's start with Foley. This is, are you okay with playing starters on special teams?
I like to be employed. So my philosophy is to listen to the head coach. But again, because I've been working with Matt, I kind of can answer that. I'm really answering this question for Coach Rule. Coach Rule's good with playing some starters. So I don't know if you remember the guys back from Temple, but there was a guy that was playing last night, had a pretty good game. Hassan Reddick, he was a starter for us as a senior on the punt team. Him and Tyler Matakevich, who's playing for the Buffalo Bills now. He's really a special teams player. He's not a household name in the NFL, but he's been in the NFL for like 5 years. Those guys were great, like all-American type players as seniors that played one team for us. They played on the punt team. And the punt team and the kickoff team are the two that coach will be like, if we need to use a starter for one team or so, we can do that. But if there's a guy that's playing will linebacker and he's the starting will, but he's out in nickel and he's playing 25, 30 plays a game, we'll be able to use that guy on multiple teams. But coach will let us use guys, use players. And he wants to get the best teams out there. So I've got to do a good job of utilizing, skill sets. Like at Baylor, our starting left tackle on our kickoff return team was the other side of the coin. He had a really good skill set for that job. He didn't do anything else. He didn't play on offense. They used to be like, "You really going to use this guy?" I'm like, "He's playing every kickoff return. He's the best I got." And he was really good at that particular skill. And really with that particular skill was, and that left tackle now, we're returning the ball to the right. He's dropping, and he's got to find his guy. And the guy's running over here, he's running over there, and he just had a great knack for how to block the guy. So we're going to try to play the best players at every position. But if there's a starter, if there's a guy that's playing defense and he's playing, 50 to 55 plays a game, I probably am not going to have him for more than one team.
Great philosophy, if you ask me. If you got a guy that's great at just being a gunner, he's the best gunner you have. He's not the best receiver. He's not the best corner. Not the best running back. Not the best linebacker. Not the best defensive back. Not the best safety. He's the best gunner. Put him out there and let him be the best at being a gunner, because that's a part of the team. Okay, let me give you my body analogy, Bob. There's many parts to a body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can the hand say to the eye, "I don't need you"?
No.
Can the finger say to the nose, "I'm greater than you"?
I don't think so.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. My point is, there's many parts, right? But without one part of our body, it will handicap us. So when you have a football team, it's comprised of many, 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 many parts. Like the 26 or 30 guys in the receivers room right now, including the walk-ons. Many parts. Out of those parts, right, when you play a game, you've got to pick what guy is best that's going to help the body do its job. Which one? Which one of you guys knows exactly what I want you to do, and I can put you in a group and you all guys will move as one? The lost concept of special teams is that I've got to put guys that don't play or that are second team out there. Why would you ever do that? That's like putting your second team out there. If you got guys, listen, I've said this a bunch of times, and I'm going to say it again. The more a guy plays football, most of the time, the better he gets, the more he warms up. The more that he gets smacked around, if he's a gamer, if he gets hit in the mouth, that guy's going to jump back and be ready to fight. That's the guy you want out there, not only the guy that can fight, but the guy that knows what he's doing. Is it a Randy call? Is it a Lucy call? A Lion call? There's all types of different calls. I mean, you come up with them, right? San Francisco, 49er, ticket call, captain call. Does this particular person know what to do when you make that call? Here's the difference. We were taught back in the day to read and react. What that means is we know what our assignment is at the snap of the ball. I got to get the line. I'm a double up to the linebacker. Okay? So me and the offensive tackle, I'm a tight end. Me and the offensive tackle are going to double the rush in up to the linebacker. So let's just say somehow, some way, the middle linebacker took a inside angle where he didn't take the outside angle for me to double read and get off of him. What happens in that situation? Well, now the lineman, I stay on the defensive end. The lineman goes inside, snipes the linebacker. Okay? That's reading and reacting. I'll give you the same scenario. We're double reading. We're combo blocking. That's what we call it, okay? or double. Okay, so we're going to combo up to the linebacker again. The linebacker disappears, falls down, whatever. What am I going to do? We're doubling this guy. First of all, we got to remove him from the hole. Okay? If this guy stones me and the offensive tackle, Freddie Pollock, Eric Anderson, then we're in trouble. Okay? But if we remove him from the hole, linebacker goes underneath, disappears. Okay? I'm off of him now. Do I just go try to chase the linebacker inside? No. I keep my head down the field and I go look for the next guy, which probably is going to be the safety or the backside corner. But that's how you get long runs. Guys understanding concepts and understanding how to read and react on the fly. Period, point blank. When the times that my guy took off and took himself out of the play, and I ran down and got the safety and cut him down or stalked him or what kind of block I put on him, that's when Ahman Green was running wide open, whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's we need more guys to be reading reactors and guys that can think on the fly. Guys that are not guys who just, they're computer guys. I call them robots. Run to this space. They don't care what happens. They're just going to run to the space. Even though the ball went this way, they're still running to the space. No, you can't do that. You have to run to the ball. Be an athlete. Again, Terrell Farley, what made him great was not that he made a million plays in practice. It was that when it was time to make the plays in the game, not only did he make them, but he created them based on instinct, based on knowing what he's supposed to do and being in the position to make the play. Now, at that point, if you're in position, the only thing left is make the play. That's what it is, man. We about to go. We coaching, Bob.
I like that too, and I like the special teams aspect of it. It's very intriguing. Obviously, last time Nebraska had a dedicated special teams coordinator before Frost finally gave in and made Bill Busch that way was, of course, under Mike Riley, and that didn't go so well. So it doesn't guarantee that your special teams is going to be great, but I think that you kind of look at the plan that they have, and he did a great job of answering. By that way, throw out the Hassan Reddick name, which is really hot right now. One of the biggest, guys that went to a different team this offseason, unfortunately, from my Cardinals, after performing pretty well there finally in his final season with the Cardinals, went over to the Eagles and has been a big part of it. Also mentioned Tyler Matachevic, who kind of downplayed his NFL role, which is fair enough. It was a great college player and said, those guys got in on special teams, all the while saying, if you play too many snaps, you might not be able to. And so it's kind of interesting what their philosophy is there. And I also wonder, again, from the aspect of just how important is special teams from this coaching staff, I wonder if some of that track speed that they've been recruiting is to get that on the field. I mean, really hype up your special teams one way or the other. You can say, well, this guy's not all the way a great football player yet. He needs a couple years. Well, he might still be able to use that speed to run down the field on kick return or kickoffs, And so I wonder if they're going to use that track speed that they've been recruiting, that young track speed, in their special teams, and because you can find a good blend. I know in the past couple of years we've been talking about at certain times, where's the starters? Who are these guys on special teams? You need to play those guys. But there's also been times over Nebraska's career, and I always go back to the same few guys because they popped to me for that. Guys that before they were regular everyday starters were like special teams demons, like Eric Martin, Ricky Thenarse, Brendan Rigoni, never like a bona fide black shirt, but man, that guy was good at special teams. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be just starters. And it's the same way too. You could throw a few starters in there. They might not be as good at whatever it is for whatever reason on that special teams unit as another guy that's dedicating all his time to do that. Might not have, again, the everything down as far as mentally or whatever it is to play defense full time, but he's, ready to go out there. And, the other thing too, as you've talked about before, is maybe, running backs out there. I wonder how many running backs we're going to see. That seems to make a lot of sense for return men. Nebraska really struggled these last couple of years, and I don't know how much they're going to look back at it. They might just have their own philosophy, but at just breaking one tackle, a lot of times, and especially, you're going to have to at least make the first guy miss. And Nebraska just couldn't do that. I mean, for the last couple of years. I mean, that's been the blocking hasn't been great, but they've got to make a guy miss.
Well, and you got to have the galls to be able to catch the ball and try to make one miss when somebody's in your face. We're gonna have Corey Dixon back on here. We're gonna talk receivers, and we'll talk a little bit about punt return because he was probably one of the best to do it at Nebraska. But to go back to punt team, Coach Osborne's philosophy. The older I get, the more I'm like, this dude was a genius, right? So I put a picture out on Facebook and Twitter of myself. Makovica was on his legs. I was on his head and helmet, and Schuster was coming to finish him off, right? And I put the picture and I said, what team is this? 3 offensive guys, right? That was the question. No, interception is everything but punt team. When you put fullbacks and tight ends and give them a chance to go hit something, bro, we've been hit for so long. It feels good. You take pride in getting down the field as fast as you can. But that was punt team. Coach did a great job of putting, I think, offensive guys on punt team that was nasty, that wanted to go down, mixed with a couple of defensive guys. But then on punt return, having the awareness to leave the defensive guys in there on punt return team.
Yeah, right? I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're trending in the right direction. I think, again, when you are willing to use your best players at every facet of the game, that means you're dedicated to a mindset of excellence. And, as long as we keep doing that, I'm getting chill bumps right now. I mean, I think we're headed in the right direction, man. Like I said, the way their bodies will be constructed will tell me a lot about what we're going to look like on April 22nd. Chase B, Chris Raff, appreciate the love. Mass Texter, Wet Blanket, John, Sting, 7233. We'll get yours and more. Right after this, the captain, the ticket, box. Baka, 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 baka.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m. Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year. We want to start 2023 off with a bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Coppell is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No sound. Jordan Cantu said no sound on Facebook, on YouTube. Jordan, no sound? Check the YouTube stream. I don't know if it's sound or not. That's what they said, is no sound. Let's see.
He said it was on his
No,
side.
it's sound. It's sound.
I got us to look, so that was
my
good.
twin cousin, man. Get out of here. He said, hey, Terrell said, y'all missed the black shirt. Yeah, we missed you, Terrell.
Come back, Terrell.
Come back, Terrell. The office ain't the same without you, Terrell. Are you going to ever call us at least and tell us how your vacation is going?
We tried to call him the other day, but he must have been busy.
We have to try him again.
Yeah.
I got to do my former Husker prank calls. He said Friday he missed his plane.
Uh-oh.
Get out of here. I don't believe that you missed your plane. Nope. He said, I don't like y'all.
Might just be staying in Georgia.
Hey, why you on, Terrell? I want to tell you what Chase B said. Did the black shirt see Big Slim and run back to Georgia to avoid him? Big Slim ran you out of town. He claims he's at the airport now. He said he'd be back in the office tomorrow.
Yeah, that was the plan. So that's good.
Can you call us from the airport, Terrell? Can you call from the airport? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. You've been texting like crazy, like you're on Facebook. Now all of a sudden you go quiet.
Maybe somebody
called
the plane. No?
All right. Anyway, Mass Texas says, LOL, worst comparison ever. Kind of like saying Eric Crouch is like Joe Montana.
Both effective quarterbacks.
Absolutely. Webb Blanket says, Caleb Tanner is not Gregory or David. He is Alex Davis. When I say Levante David, I'm talking body type. I'm talking what if he's going to play on a high level in the NFL, that's what it needs to look like. He needs to go watch Levante David and figure out those footsteps and see if he can mimic them. John says this, good morning, Cap. And Bot, Captain, how much juice do you have? If you called the athletic director and asked to interview Tony White, do you think you could make it happen? You never know until you try, John. Yeah, probably, but man, I'm not bothering them right now, man. They got work to do, bro. They got work to do.
I would say the worst they can say is no. It's always
hey, y'all smell that? You smell that, Bot? You smell it? It smells like pig feet and chitterlings. Terrell, black shirt. Where have you been all my life?
Man, I've been chilling, man. Eating good. Oh, my dad cooked 4 days in a row. Just relaxing, man.
Are you bringing back pig's feet and chitterlings so Bot can try them?
No. We didn't eat any pork like that this week.
Well, I mean, tell me about the vacay. How's it been, man, in sunny Georgia? What's the weather?
Oh, it was around 65 degrees. Just family, man. I got 17 nieces and nephews I got to see. Most of them babies, so I got to see a lot of them. And, just sitting around. We partied at my dad's house for like 4 days straight. So
nice. Well, good, man. We see you kind of somber. They kicked you out. They kicked you out of Georgia. It's okay to leave. You're a Husker, buddy. You come back home to the Huskers, okay?
Yeah, I got checked pretty good when I left for some UGA players. So
you did
good.
I heard you was masquerading on the radio out that way.
Oh yeah, I had a little deal out here that I did a radio show when I got back. It was a 2-hour show, just like ours. Their show was kind of different. They went all on the Twitch and the Twitter and all that. They just did Facebook. So it was kind of different, but it went well though.
All right, man. I'm just saying, man, don't be moonlighting, like that. You know what I'm saying? Without letting people know what you're doing.
Well, I got to get the hometown some news, so it was a pretty good show.
Did you talk some Nebraska to him? You're spreading the Nebraska love?
Oh yeah, I talked Nebraska. That's number one. That's number one goal. Preach Nebraska and put them on the map.
Well,
I was coming out the bathroom in the airport just a little while ago, and Nebraska was out there. I had a guy say, "Go Big Red." So
we all over. We all over. We everywhere. Husker fans are everywhere. I mean, look at Ireland. We everywhere. Hey, did you get a chance to get some recruits for us?
No, not really, man. It was just I really had a great time with my family, man. It's been about 3 years, so we just did the family thing for 5 straight days.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations, man. I'm glad everybody doing well, and you know what I mean. Hurry up and get back to your ticket family. How about that?
Well, no, I'm eating the Philly cheesesteak in the airport now.
No, I said hurry up and get back to your ticket family. Ticket.
Oh, I thought you said chicken sandwich. Family.
No. You divorced the chicken sandwich, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got some church's chicken yesterday, so.
You all right, let me stop. I won't even do that and troll you, Terrell, anymore, man. Hey, man, we love you, man. Appreciate you, man. Safe travels, and we'll see you when you get back, brother.
See y'all tomorrow, man.
Okay.
All right.
Terrell Farley, ladies and gentlemen. Somber, I can tell it's probably one of those things where he's feeling like I just went home and had the best time that I've had in years. Especially if he hadn't been there in 3 years, but in years. So I think that's pretty nice. Terrell, where can we find the show that you did in Georgia?
Oh, we dropped Terrell. Terrell's gone.
I know, but he's still listening.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You should put it on the text. Put it on the text line, Terrell. If you got some people out there, Dan Doherty want to check you out and see what you got going on. Steen says Abdullah and Pierre Chanel both started out exclusively with special teams too.
Yeah, as return man, you can get I mean, kind of think about those track stars. I was kind of thinking of them on kickoff return, or kickoff team running down the field, being those gunner types. But if you've got one that has a special knack for that too, like those guys did, I mean, I think that gets somewhat forgotten about Abdullah, just because and remembered more about Pearsonell, because Abdullah as a running back kind of overshadows what he did on special teams early in his career. So you think about him as primarily as one of the best running backs at Nebraska. And Pearsonell is a fine wide receiver, don't get me wrong, but you kind of primarily think about him and how special he was as a freshman, as a punt returner. So, that's a good point. You wonder what Abdullah and they took him off special teams as his career kind of went on. Still played a little bit there, but you wonder if they would have just kept him back there. I know he's important. You don't want to take him all the hits, but I think he probably would have had another return or two to the house.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but when you become the starter, it's kind of hard to lose a starter that's super important to the team. We went over those running back numbers and how important they were to the team. I know Abdul was in the top 20, but I would never want to lose Abdullah at that point to a kickoff return or a punt return. If we needed it, if it's the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go and it's a tie ball game, absolutely. Get back there. You got to now. But if I'm just in the heat of a game and I've got a guy that's maybe a step behind him, I'm putting that guy in, because the step behind him is still, pretty well. It's a good guy.
And like you were saying too, and maybe it might be wise to let the the players on the opposite side of the ball, the starters, play that snap. So, like Abdullah's not running the ball to the 30-yard line, getting a pop. I mean, then you get to the 30 instead of the 25, but he's tired and he just got popped. And then, what are you going to do on first down? Run him up the middle? I mean, you might need to catch his breath.
Cornstat says, if we at least try to return punts, that would be a 300% improvement over the last 4 years. Absolutely. I agree 100%. So many times I saw Oliver, there's 10, I'm telling you, there was nobody within 10 yards. Fair catch. I mean, you know what we need to find out? I tell you what, somebody do this for me. Go back and find out, just go to last year. How many punts did we receive? And on those punts, how many times did we return them? I guarantee you it's going to be so disproportionate, it's pathetic. And you would say that the team had better punt coverage. But we all know that, watch the game, it wasn't that they had better punt coverage. Is that we didn't have a punt return guy either with the, the kahunas to return the ball with somebody 3 yards away from them, let alone 10. And then when we did have someone with the kahunas, sometimes they weren't necessarily smart enough to know what to do on the fly. What did I say earlier? Read and react. The ball is coming. My feet's on the 10-yard line. They're coming. 10-yard line. Oh, it's going back. I probably shouldn't go back there and catch it. Act like you're going to fair catch it somewhere else in the field to get their distraction. Let the ball bounce. Hopefully it'll go into the end zone. Touchback. But to go back there and to try to make a play, which I understand, but to cost your team points or a turnover when you're trying to make the play is counterproductive. That mentality is counterproductive. Say it with me, Bach.
Counterproductive.
One more time, Bach.
Counterproductive.
Okay, coaching point 102 today.
Counterproductive.
You don't want to be counterproductive. Throw it to Bach. Throw it to Bach. To throw it to break. We'll be right back.
All right, we will be right back here. I'm the captain with the 3-time national champ, VJ. We had the black shirt call in and myself, Bach. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of 3.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Decreasing cloud cover and increasing temps. This afternoon, we should be able to hit 25 for the high. A west-southwest wind at around 10. Mainly clear and cold tonight with a low down to around 9. And tomorrow, the warm-up continues. We should reach a high of around 35. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Power, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We back. Right on. Fast 2 hour in radio. Let me keep it rolling. Eric said, what's the over-under on pounds Terrell would gain on his trip home?
What do you say is about 205 when he left or something?
He's about 198.
Hmm.
He said he was 200, but I don't believe it.
Oh.
I don't believe it. But if he comes back 205, we'll say he gained 7. I'm gonna bring my scale in tomorrow so we can put him on the scale. That's how we'll find out. 2396 said, did you see Trent Williams and Sue go face to face during the scuffle Sunday? That will be a fight off the field I will be willing to pay to see. I didn't see that. I missed it.
Yeah, that was an interesting little scuffle there at the end.
I gotta find that. Was it good?
Not really. There was one player threw another one down. Otherwise, it was just mostly trash talking, pushing. But a few of the players came on the field. You were wondering there, like, okay, if you're the Eagles, if you're the 49ers, whatever, your season's over. Because that, of course, was a blowout. And there was like a few minutes left in the game. If you're the Eagles, it's like, all right, you do anything here, you get suspended for the first half of the Super Bowl or whatever, So it was certainly an interesting dynamic there.
I told you that defense was going to be way too much for Purdy. I told you that. It's going to be way too much for Purdy.
Purdy got in.
Well, the defense is way too much for Purdy. They took Purdy out. They got a journeyman that's been in the league and played with 16 teams, and it was over with.
Well, it took him out too.
But my point is, it was over after Purdy was out. It was done. It was finished. You took out the quarterback, which I'm telling you, when you know defenses, the Philadelphia Eagle has the best defense in the NFL. Period. I'm picking them to win. I don't know why I keep going against the Chiefs, my Chiefs, and Mahomes, but I just think Philly is the hottest team.
Well, in Kansas City, they're going to have a week to heal up, but they're pretty beat up too. I mean, this isn't full strength Kansas City going into the Super Bowl. So, I agree with you. And keep in mind, Jalen Hurts, he was injured for a few games, and they didn't fare as well with Gardner Minshew in there. He's only lost one game as a starter this year. Now, what AFC, I should say Kansas City Chiefs fans would tell you is they haven't played the type of quarterbacks that Kansas City's had to play. The AFC obviously has a lot better quarterbacks. So maybe they're just thinking their strength of schedule is all that much better. But I don't know. The Eagles look the part. I mean, this is not some magical run or anything. They seem to have been the best team throughout the year. And we'll see if they can finish it off.
Yeah, listen, first times. How about them Kelsey brothers? Not Chris and Chad Kelsey.
My favorite Kelsey brothers.
Which ones?
Chris and Chad.
Which Kelseys am I talking about?
Travis and Jason.
Yeah, first time.
Spelled a little different.
First time in the history of football that two brothers will play against each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that of course the Harbaughs coached against each other. I think it's a little bit more strange because obviously there's only one coach on a team. There's so many players on a different team. I know it's hard to make it to the NFL, but you would think that the first brothers would have played against each other before they coached against each other.
Maybe. You'd have thought like Tiki and Rondé Barber.
Yeah.
Never did it. There's a lot of brothers that played in the league, never did it. Andrew says they have a new Church's Chicken in Northwest Omaha.
I heard that. Yeah.
Terrell's been trying to get me to bring him chicken in, and maybe I will do it on Wednesday to kind of be like entice him, give him a little NIL deal, Church's Chicken. I'll get him a Church's Chicken gift card.
See, I've never had Church's Chicken, so I should try to get you to bring some in too, just to try it.
Tiny Pig 6 says someone was interviewed on a different ticket show, and they said Martin was told to fair catch it and wasn't allowed to return most times.
Well, that's what it looked like, yeah, because he had a lot of room.
Hey, Bill Bush is on the Bill Bush is on the show. Nobody's asked him the question. What?
Maybe that's where he got the information. Maybe that's who told him.
Tiny Pig? Is that who told you Bill Bush giving up trade secrets? He giving up
Nebraska last year had 5 punt returns total. Obviously, they played 12 games. That's less than
how many times did we get the ball punted to us? So we got 5 total returns.
Yeah.
Now watch this. How many times did we get the ball punted to us? Watch this. It's about to blow your mind right now. It'll blow your mind. Mind. This is one of those coach. This is a Dr. Clairvoyant mind-blowing moment. Sponsored by Bauer. Because we're Ballard.
Yeah, we had the ball punted 60 times toward us.
Think about this now. Somebody tell me what that ratio is. For every if we got 5 returns and we got the ball kicked to us 60 times, how many opportunities did we miss? Let's say, oh, we know it's 55, right? But let's say half of those. Give me 26 and a half. 26 and a half more tries to get yards. Let's say that on those 26 and a half tries out of the 55 that we didn't do anything with, we got 10 yards. How many yards is that?
On 26 attempts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 260 yards.
Perfect. So 260 yards is how many football fields?
2.5.
Thank you. 2.5, and you're in their area of the field. So Coach Osborne used to tell us for every 100 yards is worth 7 points. So now you just left 17 points in some game. Which game you want to call it? Okay. So when you look at the big stats matter. That's a stat that can be changed based on coaching. Because Tiny Pig said someone was interviewed on a different ticket show. They said Martin was told to fair catch it and wasn't allowed to return most of the times. Either way, if that's a coaching deal, which it obviously has to be a coaching deal. Go back. I wonder what last year looked like.
Do that.
Check last year's stats. So 2 years ago. This past year we had 5 total. Oh, that is horrible.
That's giving up again. That's giving up on it.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a side of the game that you cannot take for granted. Punt returns. We have 5 total returns in a season in which we got 60 punts.
And it must have been really opened up because we on the punt returns, you averaged 15 yards per return. So you were only returning it if it was just green. But there was a lot of green where they didn't.
But that's my point. If we average 15 yards, you only did that on 5 returns. Okay, perfect. What's 26 times 15? You mathematicians? Huh? Let me do it real quick. I still do old school math.
Oh, yeah,
I still do the old school math. And let me just do this real quick because I'm oh my gosh, don't even say it. Guess how many yards? Over 400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's 28 points. If you average what you average on a return. Anyway.
Yeah, the year before they doubled up their punt return from last year, so they had 10 returns, which sounds like a lot maybe, but still not too much. But their punt return average was not bad. If you remember, the joke 2 years ago was that if they instead of fair catching the ball just caught the ball and fell forward, they would have more yards than what they average on the return because they had 10 punt returns for 27 yards, 2.7 yards a return. Again, you can pretty much just catch the ball and fall forward and get 3 yards.
What? So how many returns 2 years ago?
10.
No. How many total punts?
Well, how many total punts for the opponent? 55.
So 55 punts. Boy, you know what? I'm curious to go look at this because I just want a comparison. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm in a time warp right now. I'm going back to the 90s. I know it didn't exist, but somewhere in the history books they say it did. So wherever that history book is, I want to go back in it. Go back to 1997 and look at the exact same thing. Look at how many punt returns, and because this is where we got to go. I think this is where we're at, and this is where we got to go. Okay.
That was Bobby Newcomb returning punts for Puerto Rico.
Bobby Newcomb, Joe Walker.
Joe, yeah.
Terrell Octavius McFarland was back there. Chevin Wiggins was back there. There's a lot of guys that were. Lance Brown was back there. There's a lot
Sheldon
of guys
Jackson had a return for 13 yards.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
I don't know what that was about either. I don't think he was the primary.
Hey, you sure that ain't kickoff, huh?
That might be kickoff. That is kickoff.
Well, let's go punts. How many punt returns? And then how many punts? I bet that number on punts doubles. And I bet we had at least 50 returns. Nah, maybe not that. Let's see, 10 again. We probably had about 35 returns.
We had 41 returns.
Wow. Okay.
Of course, it's a little different now, too, because I think the punting has maybe evolved a little bit to try to negate as many returns, but
no.
That in mind a little bit.
No, we're going to dispel that myth. That's a myth. How many punts? That's a myth.
That's going to be harder. I'm on a different database here to figure that out.
Well, we can, but I do not want to not miss this point, because I guarantee you, the punts it had to be at least double the returns, and I would imagine it's probably at least 100 punts. Maybe not that many. Maybe
he had almost 400 yards on the return, if my math adds up there, altogether.
400 yards. So that's almost 10 yards of crack, like we talked about. Okay. It's about average.
Yeah.
Okay. 400 yards.
Here, total punts.
Good for 28 points. While you look at that, I'm going to read some. Watched 94, 95, and 97 championship game yesterday, and only remember one fair catch. Wow.
That was a marathon he had there yesterday.
Well, I missed that. On what? Big Ten?
He might have just popped. He might have YouTubed that himself.
Wow. Okay, so Byron said this. Eagles had easy path, and Dak, best quarterback. They played through for 400 yards. All right. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I guess to me, the Eagles have been the best team. I mean, regardless, they had to play other NFL clubs. Regardless of how they got there, they beat they bombed the San Francisco 49er team. And then they beat all the other teams to get to the playoffs. Playoffs? Scott says this. I'm with you, VJ. Eagles all the way. Defense wins championships. AKA Jason Peters. Did Jason Peters? My boy Jason Peters. Eric Warfield, Jason Peters, and why does it say Scott? Anyway, 6153 says, was it me or did Terrell sound depressed about having to go back? Bro, that's why I changed the whole complexity of the conversation. Because it sounded like he was dreading getting on that plane, talking about he missed the plane on purpose. 9160 says, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Manning brothers were the first brother quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl back-to-back. I could be wrong. We know they won it.
Yeah.
Was it back-to-back?
That'd be the case. I don't know about back-to-back, but hard to think of any other brothers that have won it to go back in time.
Dang, Cornstash says this, we return every 12th punt. Is that real, Cornstash? Are you really saying, did you really go look at that and see that we did that, or is that just you talking stuff?
That sounds about right, because I did the math too. It's like 8% returns, so that would probably be about right. In 1997, by the way, 91 punts the opponents had against Nebraska.
Think about that. I told you. 91 punts.
Nebraska returned 51 of them.
And we returned 51 of them?
Yeah.
Bro, listen to me real quick, yo. I like saying that. The kids of the day, even girls use it. Bro, they be calling each other bro.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, let me do this comparison. 1997, Nebraska football had 51 punt returns. 91 punts. 2022. I think this is the right one, right? Nebraska, this was past year. Nebraska had a total of 60 punts and 5 returns. Are we looking at, do we understand where we have to go? It's not far, but it is far. Because 5 and 60, 51 and 91 is a long way. That's almost double. And in the punt returns, it's, I don't even want to talk about that percentage. It's ridiculous. Axel Foley says, guys, have Bill Busch on all the time, period. Ask him. So I'm with you, Foley. Why are we playing? Why we up here trying to ask ourselves and guess and all this stuff when we can just ask Bill Busch? Bill Square's in the building. I'll listen to him faithfully. IC Crew. The Kelsey brothers both play offense. What? Can you imagine the Rocket covering Quadri Ishmael in the Super Bowl?
Actually matching up against each other, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be good. That would be good. Well, Tiki Barber tackling. Oh, who's the matchup we got now? The receiver and the defensive back. Come on. Receiver, defensive back. Buffalo and the Cowboys.
Oh, Diggs, yeah.
Yeah. Them two going against each other. That's cool.
Yeah, you can see that someday.
Listen, man, Tiny Pig, 5'3", 6'4", 9160. We'll get to y'all's and more. Hey, it's the Captain Show, first hour in the books. We'll be right back. Me and Bob trolling. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that, options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Decreasing cloud cover and increasing temps. This afternoon, we should be able to hit 25 for the high. A west-southwest wind at around 10. Mainly clear and cold tonight with a low down to around 9. And tomorrow, the warm-up continues. We should reach a high of around 35. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn, he'll get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer.
Ah, yeah! Power.
Boy.
Power. It's the way that's supposed to go. Cut the music real quick, Bob. Let me give you a call. Let me give you the call real quick. Listen up.
And it is a Bruce. Oh, he's taking that move and down the sidelines he goes. No flags behind him. It's touchdown. But it's returnable.
DeJuan Gross. Tiny Pig said was a heck of a punt returner.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. You know what it takes to be a punt returner, knowing that there's guys running down. Listen, I used to love it. If you get a guy that wasn't good at punt returning and he was back there and we was running down, bruh, we were going to try. We had already discussed who was going to high-low him. We already talked about who was going to be the first guy down there to get him. It was competition to us to get the guy. Don't be the guy to get juked. Because believe me, on Monday, guess what you was going to see? And coach was going to rewind it 1,000 times and be like, Vershawn, what were you thinking here? You got to stay on the upfield shoulder. And rewind it about 5 times where everybody like, ugh, he got destroyed. Okay, so 3764 said, guys, will this play out like the Denver, Carolina SB did? Everybody high on Philly like they were Carolina, and KC shut them up like Denver did.
It could be. I guess the way that I'm looking at it, if I was worried about a blowout one way or the other, and I think it'll be a close game, but I would look at it the other way. I mean, I know it's never a safe bet, again, like you're saying, to bet against the Chiefs, but again, they're banged up, and Philadelphia has done that to their opponents in the playoffs. They've just made, mincemeat out of them.
I'm just saying, we could be that could very easily happen, right? They get a week off, they get a week to get their bodies back, a week to get the main guy, the $1 billion guy, $500 million guy, get him back up to par. They're going to be hitting at all cylinders. So this game should be one for the ages. I think the best two teams made it, and it should be a great game. I really do. I think it's a great game. Tyler says this, 5 out of 60 is 8.33%. Terrible. Big tie.
Yeah.
8. I won't even drag it out. Bill and Bennett. He said, Bill Bush got a speeding ticket this morning and was late getting to early take with Sippy J.
Uh-oh. I always worry about that on my way to the radio time. You can't be late. You got to be there for the start of the show. I always worry about getting a speeding ticket or something.
Dang.
I gotta get there.
Bill, dang. You couldn't pull it. They didn't carry you Bill Bush, the coach?
Hey, if he was Bill Bush, the current coach, maybe if he was still on staff.
They didn't let him off with a warning?
Yes not.
Dang. How fast was he going? Do we know?
I don't know.
Fast enough to get a ticket. 1 mile over. You're speeding.
I always wonder if you're an officer, if you have your Wall of Fame tickets, right? Like all the notable people that you want to. I mean, maybe you could give them off with warnings, or maybe the story's the same that way. But you could think that those guys would get more of a break, but maybe they don't. Maybe they get targeted a little bit more, just so you can put it on your wall.
9160 says, VJ, do you know which kicker drove a red Trans Am in the 90s with the license plate Kicker 1? Dr. Rob has a great story about him, but won't give up the name. About him getting busted with a fake ID freshman year. I don't know. Oh, Dan Doherty? You better calm down with that, Dan Doherty. No conspiracy theorists get to have their opinion said on the captain show. I'm just kidding. The script has already been written, he says.
Uh-oh.
Andy gets back to Philly for firing him. He gets back at him. Andy Reid back at Philly. Could you imagine if he beats him?
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. And again, to me, and you get excited for the Super Bowl one way or the other. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't as excited for Philly this time. It's because they won their Super Bowl. They won it a few years ago, right? I mean, it's a historic franchise. If they had not done that, then, maybe there'd be a little more juice to them making it this time. The other thing is within the Andy Reid storyline is that would be a little bit bigger too, right? If they were both fighting for that first Super Bowl since the firing, but it's worked out for both sides. Philadelphia's won a Super Bowl since firing Andy Reid. Andy Reid's won a Super Bowl since he left Philadelphia. Now they meet, and maybe, I guess this is where, and a lot of times you would say, well, this is game 3, or this is like the deciding factor. So, that's still on the line. I am excited about that. But I just, for some reason, and that's my biggest draw to the Super Bowl. I love Andy Reid. I'm a big Andy Reid fan. I just can't get myself to cheer for the Chiefs, though. I think I'm still going to go for the Eagles. I think it's the Jimmy Huskers over there.
Where's the Super Bowl?
It's in Arizona. It's in Phoenix.
Oh, that is going to be an exciting game.
I'm
not going. I don't have $10,000 to pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
Let me know if you want to take the captain to the Super Bowl.
You ever been to one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs you just as much on the outside as it does on the inside. Well, it costs you more to get on the inside. I mean, here's the deal. The one year that I actually got 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, of course, I sold them.
Yeah, you make good money on it, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. At that point, this would have been 99, 2000. I think I sold them for about $3,500 a piece.
Is that the Ravens Super Bowl or the Rams?
99, 2000, whatever it was. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can't go back that far back.
Well, if you missed the Rams Titans, that's like the best. That's like one of the best Super Bowls of all time.
It was one of them. But remember, the 90s didn't count in the NFL either. Montana Husker says this: what better way to spend a sick day with the wife out of town? LOL, go Big Red.
He's the one that watched all the championship games, right?
Right?
Yeah.
That is it. You know what? I don't think I've ever went back and watched the entire game.
Really?
Nope. I need to. Chase B says, guys, do you think Sue will accidentally roll on Mahomes' ankle?
I don't think he will accidentally. No, I don't think accidentally.
I'm still looking for the fight. I haven't found it yet. Scott and Stonebridge says, "Bill the Bullet." Talking about Bill Bush.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. Hey, listen, Bill. Nothing goes on until you get there, Bill. I know you're listening. Nothing happens until Bill Bush enters into the situation. Maskey, calm down, baby. I'm on the radio. Nothing happens, okay? Bill Bush, slow down. Take your time. Get your coffee early. Get to work. It ain't even work. It's playtime. I wonder how fast he was going still. Over under, he was going faster than 10 miles an hour.
Over more than 10, yeah. You got to be going. You got to be going at least 7 or 8 over. That's kind of a safe zone. You got to be going at least 10 over.
You take the over or the under?
Yeah, I think over. Yeah. I don't think that can't be too much though.
I'm gonna go under.
Yeah,
I think he's going 9.
9 over.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go back. I missed that part. Mahomes and Kelsey, best players on the field, regardless. Go Chiefs. You might be right about that, but I don't know. Again, that quarterback over there for Philly is pretty good. Not going to game, but we'll be in Phoenix for the festivities and waste management golf tournament.
Nice.
Everyone should experience. Have you ever been to a Super Bowl?
No.
You gotta go, Bob. I thought you were a world traveler.
Well, like you said, I have to. I'm gonna have to save up a few $1,000s for that one. I've got some other goals before I get to a Super Bowl. I've actually never been to an NFL game.
What?
Yeah, I've been, of course, to a lot of different Nebraska games. I'm way more of a college football fan, so I've been to like UNLV game, a Kansas State game, an Iowa State game. I've got a USC spring game. I go to a lot of college games before I'd go to an NFL game. That's just where my fandom lies.
Got you. No Chiefs games though.
No, and that's close. I should go at some point, but again, like this year, I probably could have chose to go to a Kansas City Chiefs game if I really want to, but I went to Kansas and Duke instead.
Corey and Lincoln say you got to be moving. You got to be moving at a pretty good clip to get pulled over at 5:30 a.m.
Wonder if
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at you, Bill. I'm laughing at the situation because I know there's times that I've been speeding that if I wasn't paying attention, I'd be getting hit too. So I've been trying to take my time and just take my time. Get there.
The key might be that he didn't heat up his car first. You got to heat up your car so you're not cold, because if you're cold, you're going to be trying to speed to get to work a little bit more. I think maybe that was the problem. If you a breakdown of it.
Chase B said, never been to a pro game in general, but all I need to say, Huskers, is my Huskers. Go Big Red. All right, Chase B. People don't want me yelling Go Big Red right now. Glit Nerd says, Bill needs to know 9 you're fine, 10 you're mine. Shout out to Guild Nerd out there policing. Jory says this. How funny is it that Tua replaced Hurts in CFP? Then Tua is declared an almost sure thing, yet Hurts make it to the Super Bowl first. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts it's incredible because he just kind of keeps his head down. He's not, he's not too much of an emotional guy. He's not a guy that you're going to be talking about off the field reasons or anything like that. And he doesn't always get the most credit. And I think that it's kind of interesting because you go back to his time at Alabama, you look at it now, he's always one of the best quarterbacks, but not the best, right? It's kind of like, I guess, the Stetson Bennett type of thing where you just kind of throw him over there. It's like, yeah, he'll be in it, but he's not, look at what this pass can do. And Jalen Hurts, it's the same type of thing. Like he doesn't have the best arm or the best accuracy. He's not even the best runner, but he got a pretty darn good combination of all three of them. And it is really cool to see what he's been able to do and what they've been able to do with him as a threat on the field with their running attack.
2 things. Game manager doesn't make mistakes. Game manager doesn't make mistakes. takes the check down, when he knows that it's a hitch and go, he's throwing the long ball. He's trusting his receiver to go get it. He's got a good run game. Game manager, he puts them in position to win. When he audibles, who's making those calls? The quarterback. I don't look at the guy with the biggest arm or the most stats. I look at the guy like a Stetson Bennett that keeps his team calm, that's able to get his team to play at a high level on offense and takes what the defense gives you. Period. You know the problem with a lot of quarterbacks is that they force a triangle into a circle, or at least they try to. You can't do it. So the guy who knows, instead of me trying to force this triangle into that triangle or into that circle, I'm going to throw into that triangle because I know it'll fit. Sheesh. Clintonian John says, what the Bach? Chiefs tailgating way more fun than Nebraska.
I'm not a big drinker though either. So
is he talking drinking though?
He might be talking food. Yeah.
I mean, is that the thing with tailgates? You go to tailgate to drink?
See, I'm gonna say this too. I'm just not that big of a tailgater. I kind of like to take in the scenes of college football. I like to walk around and stuff, look at the stadium, look at all their history and stuff like that. I prefer to do that more than I don't know, whatever your favorite tailgating activity is, but everybody, it's kind of to each their own. But I understand NFL tailgating usually reigns supreme unless you're talking about like LSU or something in college football. But yeah, that's just not my biggest draw to go to a game, I guess.
Yeah. Nyla says this: I've never been to an NFL game either. Dream to go home to a Packers game, to a home Packers game. Nyla, really? You sports people never been to a professional game? I've been to a few, and let me tell you, the games that I have been to, Oakland, Kansas City, when I was hurt, was horrible. Oakland fans are horrible. The Philly, I went to Philly and Green Bay game when the Packers played Philly, of course, at Philly. The Phillies fans are horrible. I went to Kansas City and Denver. I've been to a ton of Kansas City games. Kansas City fans are like Nebraska fans, the best fans in football. I think Green Bay fans are the best fans in football because when I went to Green Bay and I saw those fans have that much fun shoveling snow, I'm like, no. And it was like it is today. And that's when it really snowed, right? The fans clean the snow at the stadium. Did you know that, Bob?
Yeah, I've heard that before. I do. I think Lambeau would be, if I did want to go to an NFL game, I think that would probably be right up there. But again, I don't know if I'm not as much of one to sit in the snow. I might want to go to an early Packers game at some point.
Yeah, the Packers games is fun though. That's that stadium in itself. When I was there, the atmosphere in itself it smelled like old football. It just smelled old football. And by the way, what's the one NFL team that has the longest sellout streak in NFL football?
Packers?
Yeah.
There is.
Ding, 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 ding. Jory says this: for the last 6 years, Husker fans go to tailgates to numb the pain. Come on. Drink your sorrows away. Well, I'll tell you right now, get in the stadium early. The fireworks, I'm predicting at least the fireworks will go off inside on the field on April 22nd. There won't be any duds. You know, like when you light a Roman candle and you're waiting for that. I'm a guy that holds the Roman candle. I'm sorry. It's not against the law. But it's not against the law. It's just a little dangerous.
Just don't aim it at people.
Well, when you grew up having Roman candle fights, you aim them at people. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. We did that.
Yeah,
so,
I did that.
So the Roman candle, remember the guy who had the Roman candle that was a dud, he was through.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it went poof and just hit the ground and it didn't have any juice behind it, it was like, that's the same way.
Took note. He's got no juice. Get him.
Clintonia John said Bengals fans were pretty cool this weekend. Obviously, Clint, Tony, and John goes to NFL games. Chase B says, my bucket list is to go watch a game at Lambeau Field and also to make a trip to Washington, D.C. The Capitals play in the Capital One Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi Mud Dog said, you dang right, VJ. Go Pack, go. By the way, I am not a Packers fan. I like the Packers players, but I'm not a Packers fan. Now, I was a Packers fan. I am the king at being a bandwagon fan in NFL football. When I was a Packers fan, was at the height of probably a top 5 quarterback in the history of football. We know who that is, right?
Brett Favre.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The comeback kid.
Yeah. See,
the
I like
comeback kid.
I was as soon as they had Ahman Green, that was one of my favorite NFL careers to follow. Ahman Green with the Packers. You know, by the time he got to the Texans, it wasn't as good, but Ahman Green with the Panthers was that dude. He was awesome.
Yeah. Bill and Bennett says Phillies fans are horrible. They pelted Santa Claus with snowball.
That's right.
Listen, I saw someone, and I'm sitting in the rafters at the Philly game, and Buck Alter was playing at the time, and I don't know why we were, but they were actually great seats because you could see everything, you know, on the entire field. But you were up in the rafters. A fight broke out in the rafters. Not in the rafters. These guys are fighting in the rafters. You got 2 Phillies guys jumping on a Green Bay guy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Come on. Sounds awfully familiar. Hey, Chase B said, at least you admit you're a bandwagon, VJ. I am. Not in college football, though. Huskers all the way, baby. I only roll and bleed. Husker Red. We'll be right back. The Ticket, 93.7. Captain.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Decreasing cloud cover and increasing temps. This afternoon, we should be able to hit 25 for the high. A west-southwest wind at around 10. Mainly clear and cold tonight with a low down to around 9. And tomorrow, the warm-up continues. We should reach a high of around 35. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Heartland International in Lincoln reminds us, people today are facing more hardships than ever before. It's becoming all too common to hear that someone has become so desperate they've taken their own life. People almost always warn those close to them that desperation is near, be a shoulder to lean on, and insist that they seek professional help. This message from Dennis and Penny Nunn at Heartland International in Lincoln. Marketing quality products since 1974, visit heartlandinternational.com. We're stronger when we help one another.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year, and we want to start 2023 off with a bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Coppell is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sue kind of look out of place in that 74, don't he? Oh, wow. Trent Williams slammed the smoke. I mean, he slammed him. Oh, my goodness. Picked him up and slammed him. Bam. Whoa. That's when Sue got busy. Man. Trent Williams got to get fined for that, man. There you go, Ryan. You want that? Man. He's got to get fined for that. Oh, my word.
Yeah,
that's why Sue was upset.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
But again, if you're the Eagles there, if you're Sue, if you retaliate, you might be suspended for a half or, whatever for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know, but man, that was bad right there, buddy. At the end of the game, you losing. I mean, for him to take him and rip him down and throw him, I mean, what the heck, dude? Yeah, that ain't right. Anyway, yeah, that's frustrating from getting the tar beat out of you. You frustrated, and you don't know what else to do. You've been beat all game. You've been smacked around. They talked about your mama. They talked about your kids. They talked about everybody they could. They got under your skin. Probably punched him in the stomach a couple of times. Who knows what happened in piles and what's going on when the camera don't see. But, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Man, that didn't look good. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's get back to some more text. Seriously, that was bad, man. The guy was probably 150 pounds lighter than him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's picking on. They always say pick on somebody your own size.
Yeah. Giltner said, never been to a program neither, but want to go to Soldier Field before they build a new one. Bear down.
Yeah, I did want to go to I do that too. I'm kind of sad that the Bears are wanting to have a new stadium, much less a dome. It's like that's not Chicago football. The whole NFC North is going to be a dome besides Lambeau.
Yeah. Joe B says Jerry Taggy played for the Packers too. There's a long list of Huskers that play for the Packers. A bunch. Hey, how did our guy what is that called? Teray. How did he do?
Samari Toure?
Yeah, I wonder how he did this year.
He didn't play too much. I think he was on the back end of that wide receiver depth. He did have a touchdown catch this season, but not too many opportunities. So,
Corey Lincoln says VJ is obviously talking about Don the Magic Man Makowski. How you say that?
Oh yeah,
Makowski.
That one. Yeah.
Nada says baseball fans are the worst. Why, Nada? Why? Chase B, definition of sore losers. Kelsey, if you go to Soldier Field, do you got to pay Aaron Rodgers since he's an owner?
That's a good, pretty good one there.
I hope not. I hope we don't pay Aaron Rodgers since he's an owner. Well, you do if you buy a ticket, right?
Well, he's not really an owner. He just beats the Bears every time he plays there. So that's that's what they're implying there.
He's definitely an owner.
he gets a cut.
He's definitely an owner, Bach.
Although Aaron Rodgers, the rumors too this last week or reports were that came out on Sunday was that the Packers might be ready to part ways with Aaron Rodgers, which is interesting. Of course, this past year didn't go as well. He didn't have Devontae Adams, but he was a back-to-back MVP the 2 years prior to that. He's getting up there in age. Still got to consider him one of the best in the league if he has the weapons around him.
That's the end of the road, man. Aaron Rodgers has been there how many years?
A lot, yeah. I
18, 19 years.
Yeah, 2000.
So, I mean, at some point, man, the body slows down. The game is different. It's a young man's game now. All the old guard, I can guarantee you, is going to be gone in the next 2 to 3 years. All those guys that are in their upper 30s that's playing football, young man's game now, buddy. It's the turnover. That era of that level of football is getting ready to turn over to all the youngsters. That's why look who's in the Super Bowl. The young guys that are the young old guys in the Super Bowl. So the guys that are 5 to 8 years are in the Super Bowl. I don't think we'll ever see an Aaron Rodgers again in the Super Bowl. I just don't ever. You couldn't put enough guys around him to help him make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, he's struggled to get back there since 2010 to begin with, and he's had some pretty darn good teams, for a stretch there. The Packers always, going 13-3 or whatever, and just couldn't get it done in the playoffs.
That is a fun fact, Mississippi. Mississippi Mud Dog says, fun fact, Fabian Washington was picked one spot in front of Aaron Rodgers in the 2005 NFL draft.
The Raiders love themselves some speed. Fabian did that at the Pro Day.
Yeah, he 4.32 or something like that, and
the
rest is history. First round pick.
Absolutely. The combine, not the Pro Day.
Let's play the other coach, and let's just hear what he has to say as well, so we can get a little Husker stuff in, a little Husker news.
All right, this is he was asked if this is Terrence Knighton the other day asked if he notice pot roast, by the way, and he talked about that too. But Terrence Knighton asked if he knows his official role yet. Again, among that 3-3-5, the front end, the defensive line, what's that going to look like? Here's his answer.
Right now we're still trying to figure that out. I know I'll have the edge guys, but Tony's scheme is a little different than it has been in the past here, and we're still trying to figure out if that fourth guy is a linebacker, DN. We don't know, and that's kind of going to work to our advantage. So we're still figuring that out, and hopefully once when we figure that out, hopefully other teams won't figure that out until Saturday.
Play it one more time.
Right now we're still trying to figure that out. I know I'll have the edge guys, but Tony's scheme is a little different than it has been in the past here, and we're still trying to figure out if that fourth guy is a linebacker, DN. We don't know, and that's kind of going to work to our advantage. So we're still figuring that out, and hopefully once when we figure that out, hopefully other teams won't figure that out until Saturday.
Well, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what he's basically says. You can't prepare for something that you don't know.
Well, it's interesting too because he would say in the press conference that they would that they've basically been really hard on recruiting, on the recruiting trail, obviously since they've taken over. So they're really going to kind of get into the football stuff, and start meeting with the players and not meeting with them, but really getting to know them as football players, and this upcoming week. So it is interesting to have him out there and to kind of say he doesn't necessarily know the official role, how many guys he has. Sometimes maybe if you're a Husker fan, you could worry yourself about that. But I mean, obviously they've been absolutely hitting home runs in the recruiting circles. So that's been their focus, and they'll figure it out. I mean, there's only so many practices you can have and to get ready, and of course so that'll be ironed out. But a little bit surprised, you would think that they might have communicated that by now, but
deal in. Yeah,
that's all they're talking about.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. You got to get him, don't you? Nala says, I think the only way the Packers would keep him is if he took a pay cut so they can bring in more weapons on offense. But his ego is his worst enemy.
Yeah. That's it. That's like you even buy the Aaron Rodgers is going to be shipped out of Green Bay because they've been, at ends for 4 years now, and it never happens. You hear reports about it every year. Oh, this is going to be the last. This is the offseason. He gets moved, and it hasn't happened.
Aaron Rodgers is not going to take a pay cut to bring people in. You better figure it out. But he ain't doing it. I don't believe it. I just don't. Who wants to go play with Aaron Rodgers? They had an opportunity to get Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
that fell through.
It's a tough free agency. As much as we like Lambeau and want to go to a game there, it's a tough free agency poll. They haven't been able to land a whole lot of free agents over the years, maybe because of the cold weather or whatever. But not a bigger city. Some cats are looking for different things. But you could reunite. I think the more intrigue for the NFL is if he does get moved, because if you pair him back up with Devontae Adams, already had that magic, going out with the Raiders. There's a few other teams that, the Giants that you kind of talk about, they've kind of got the rest of the roster up there. Very tough division, as we know. But if, put him in there, although I think Daniel Jones is the answer there. The Jets is the more likely one, I should say, with New York. But there's a couple out, I still think he can play. I understand he's getting older, but he's not too far removed from an MVP season.
Well, he can play if you put the weapons around him.
Yeah.
You put him in a different football team and football. I mean, Las Vegas.
Yep.
I mean, that's a good destination. His guys is already there. They got weapons all around. They need a quarterback that can get it done. Your boy is not being able to get. What's his name? Number 2.
Oh, David Carr. They're moving off of him.
Yeah, but I'm saying he hadn't been able to get it done. You got an older team, bring in an old head that can help you win some games, because you need a game manager, a guy that can get the ball in spots that most quarterbacks that's not upper echelons, they can't put it in those spots. Cornstad says this, you brought up pot roast, and I still heard Raph say, let's ride. I get that right, Raph? Let's ride.
Sounds about right. I'll give this for Raph. He's certainly not a bandwagon fan. He still is proud of his Broncos, even though there wasn't much to be proud of this year.
And I don't know this to be true. Nathan Hackett was not a good head coach, but he's a good offensive coordinator. When he left the Packers, they started stinking on offense. They refused to use Aaron Jones, even though he's the best player on the team, and they don't have any receiver. It's over. The OGCJ, bring Rodgers to Denver.
That's be a lot of money in that room. I don't know if you can work those contracts out. You got to get rid of Russell.
I don't know. That could work. I mean, he's used to cold. If you're used to the cold, you're used to that. So that the element of the game won't get on his nerves, because Could you see a Brady going from Tampa to Denver? Never.
I mean, he played in New England for long enough.
Never.
But he's getting pretty old. I wouldn't be out there.
The end of his career. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Rodgers the same way. He's a little old. Why don't you go play in a warm weather state?
You know where I could see him though? Miami.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, there's
Brady
some weapons
to
out
Miami.
there. Talk about some weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brady too. Listen, I know Jake is somewhere smiling right now. He is. Because if he got Brady, tomorrow I'm talking to Jake about this. Brady, we need to get this going. Brady to Miami. Anyway, the fastest 2 hours in radio turns on. We're missing our buddy, the black shirt. He's got us feeling a certain type of way because he was so somber in his delivery.
He's sad about the airport.
Yeah. He was sad. I'm sorry, Terrell, but come home. We need you. We'll be right back. Captain, take it 93.7.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Decreasing cloud cover and increasing temps. This afternoon, we should be able to hit 25 for the high. A west-southwest wind at around 10. Mainly clear and cold tonight with a low down to around 9. And tomorrow, the warm-up continues. We should reach a high of around 35. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Heartland International in Lincoln reminds us, people today are facing more hardships than ever before. It's becoming all too common to hear that someone has become so desperate they've taken their own life. People almost always warn those close to them that desperation is near, be a shoulder to lean on, and insist that they seek professional help. This message from Dennis and Penny Nunn at Heartland International in Lincoln. Marketing quality products since 1974. Visit heartlandinternational.com. We're stronger when we help one another.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Back with Vershawn Jackson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I thought I put Terrell behind me. He's here, y'all.
In honor of the black shirt.
He's back. Hey, did you hear about the 13, 14-year-old team that the mom or one of the assistant coaches that was 22-year-old acted as if she was a girl that was gone and played in the game.
She must look pretty young.
It don't look like it to me.
She doesn't look young. No.
Yeah, she does not look young to me at all. She looks like a lady to me. If you want to look it up, high school team abandons basketball season after 23-year-old caught pretending to be 13. Churchland High School in Virginia. If you want to look it up.
It'd be kind of fun to go out there and dominate some middle schoolers.
Come on, Bob. Go out there and bully some middle schoolers like that. And then and she was like overly aggressive, and you know like when she would score, she'd be like, yeah, like she really did something against some 13.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's not a good thing to do, but I like I said, I think it might be a little bit fun.
Yeah, well.
Suit up one more time.
I don't know. Who you like in the Super Bowl?
I do like the Eagles. I mean, I think that it's like I said, I mean, I kind of go back and forth. I think the Chiefs fans and Chiefs have a valid argument. And I'm more just intrigued because it's been a battle. It's been a tough pick for me the whole season as we get on Pro Bowl week. I know people don't care as much about it, but just is the NFC better? Is the AFC better? The NFC East was so good this year. And the AFC obviously has all the young quarterbacks that are really good. And we kind of saw that play out in the playoffs. But I like the Eagles now. I mean, I think, at certain times I was trying to do this with the Eagles and Nick Sirianni, a second-year coach, is, who kind of gets the most credit from the Eagles organization. Jalen Hurts is kind of the quarterback, the face of the team, so I understand that. But you got to give a lot of credit to the coach because, for one, it's like a texter said earlier, he doesn't necessarily have the absolute all-stars. I mean, A.J. Brown's pretty good, Devontae Smith. I mean, they've got some good players, but I don't know if they have like top 10, 15 players in this league, but they have one of the best rosters. And so it's a good job of putting of coaching that team up. But I really have to go to their GM. I mean, their GM, not only did he, part of getting the AJ Brown trade, so you kind of throw that out there, but this is a completely different team than the Doug Peterson, Nick Foles team. You remember they kind of went through the whole thing of thinking they had their quarterback. They thought that they had the answer for the future. That turned out not to be the case. And so in just a few years, I've made it back to the Super Bowl with a completely different cast of characters, and not just made it back. Again, this is not a fluke. That was, whether they win the Super Bowl or not, that was clearly the best team in the NFC. Now, 49ers fans would argue that. So if we have a healthy quarterback, maybe that game's a little bit.
If was a fifth, we'd both be drunk.
It's true. But I've never seen a team. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but an NFL team get so low on quarterback depth that they they were down like 4 possessions and they were still running the clock out in the middle of the third or fourth quarter because they didn't have an option to pass. Brock Purdy could not pass the ball down the field because of his injury. Josh Johnson was out. They already, obviously we already know about, Trey Lance and Jimmy G being out. I almost thought, and I know how hard it is to play NFL quarterback, but I almost thought, like, is Christian McCaffrey, can anybody throw like 10 yards downfield? Because Purdy can't.
No. Right? Like I told you, it was too much Eagles defense. They got hit early and often. You know what? I'm not ready to call a game. I've got to do a little bit more in depth look at this game with a healthy Kansas City quarterback and a healthy Kelsey that's already was healthy anyway, but you let him get a week of healing in. Man, this game is probably not going to be as easy for Philly as we think.
I could be wrong. I know we have been tracking our NFL numbers. I haven't predicted the NFL playoffs so well. So maybe what I say is just take the opposite of that. But they look to be the best team to me. And obviously, again, I don't know. I mean, the Bengals would be right up there, and they got beat by the Chiefs. So whether you want to say, whistles and help from the officials or not, I don't think you're going to see as much of that. Obviously, with the microscope being on the Super Bowl, shouldn't be that way in a playoff game. But there's no home field advantage, obviously. So I don't think you're going to see that as much. But in that kind of feeling, it feels like the Chiefs kind of, were beat up, had some help from they don't feel full strength to me. And obviously Chiefs at full strength is a dangerous team. Showing why even at not full strength, they're in the Super Bowl, obviously. But I feel like the Eagles are rolling right now.
Yeah, hottest team right now is the Eagles, but again, the Kansas City Chiefs they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. They've got Andy Reid as a coach who knows Philly inside and out. I don't know if he knows this Philly football team, but he knows the intricate works of Philly. And they've got an opportunity to win. And, I still give the slight edge to the Chiefs because I just think that they're better fit for the moment. And they rise to the occasion. I mean, if you look at all the games that they've played in the playoffs, they rise to the occasion. Just when you thought the Chiefs were going to get close, they deliver a blow. Now, I think that blow last week was the refs, but no matter what it was, they delivered that blow to Cincinnati Bengals to win that football game. And so I think it'll be an exciting game. I'm interested to see it. What you guys got coming up next on the water cooler?
There's a lot to kind of break down. Nebraska basketball's got a big game tonight. We kind of talked about that yesterday on the captain of how important every one of these games is going to be for in some of it's not just win-loss. It's like, are you losing by 15? Are you losing by 20? Am I paying attention as it goes down in the second half? So that's interesting. Illinois is the team. Nebraska last time got beat by Illinois 76-50 is when Juwan Gary got injured. So not a great matchup for Derek Walker. Plenty to kind of break down there. We'll get more into Terrence Knighton and Ed Foley. LeBron James needs 117 points to surpass Kareem for first all time. So I think that's kind of interesting. Also, and we can hit on this now real quick if you want to. I don't know how much you're excited. There's no Super Bowl this week. Obviously, you have the Pro Bowl first, which is going to be a flag football game. One, how interested are you in that? And two, does this hurt your interest? Tyler Huntley, who had 2 touchdown passes this year, 3 interceptions, has been a Pro Bowl alternate. So one of the quarterbacks, I mean, this thing has been, not only has it not been a whole lot of tackle, the quality of the game has been bad. The athletes participating in the game have not been the best players in the league for a long time. They're skipping out, they're moving away, they don't want to get injured in that game. So now you see it's pretty much to an all-time low, and no offense to Tyler Huntley, but there's never been a quarterback alternate, a quarterback replacement. I guess he's just one of the guys that's willing to go. Has been a backup this year, subbed in for Lamar Jackson, but there's never been a quarterback with 2 touchdown passes in the regular season named to the Pro Bowl, obviously.
Well, I think for the fans, it'll be fun because they, again, flag football games are fun, and you get to see these guys without the helmet. So a lot of times, us being football players, I hate it to be. You could call me Sheldon Jackson, right? But don't call me Tommy Frazier. Don't call me Tommy Frazier. Okay, me and Tommy Frazier are different guys. All right, he's from Florida. I'm from Nebraska, and so to mix me up with Sheldon because there were 2 Jacksons playing. I can kind of see it. I can't see it once you know that. If you're a real Husker fan, Sheldon was 6'5". And, I was 6 foot. And, Sheldon was 88, typical tight end number. I was 34. Probably never be seen again to be out there on the end to be a tight end at 34. So, it's
how often did that happen? I know that happens with athletes all the time. I remember I was just, downtown in public somewhere by Evan Taylor, and some girl walked up to him and was talking about how, she was excited to meet him, and then thought eventually it came out that she thought he was James Palmer, and you just see the look on his face, just like,
right.
No.
Right. But you get that. I used to get that all the time, and I was just like, just come on, guys. Really?
People thought you were Tommy?
Yeah, really? Like, before the gray hair, of course. Before the gray hair.
Yeah.
But it's funny on one end. It's like this on another end, and then when you think the fans will get a chance to see the players without the helmet, without the armor on, it just makes it more personal.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. All that aside, are you going to watch a full flag football game?
Probably not.
No, probably not. I think.
Well, it just depends. I'm going to watch it in the beginning to see how the format. And if it keeps my attention, then I'm going to continue to watch it. If it doesn't, you know what I miss? I miss the real skills competition. You know what I'm saying? I want a real fastest man competition. You know, like the quarterback competition, phenomenal. You know, to see those guys throwing darts, moving targets and stuff like that.
That's fun. That's stuff I do like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all this, if you put all that stuff together and you make it one big day of it, now I'm interested, you know, to see who's going to win. You know, you should be able to get some pretty big names to get in those competitions that's not about that. The obstacle course. I want to see the cheetah do the obstacle course, man. Hey, man, Tuesday, 2 hours. I think Terrell slowed us down today. We're going to blame him.
Get back to it tomorrow, yeah.
We're going to blame him. Terrell's back in the building. I'm back in the building on Wednesday. Way back Wednesday. We'll be back. The Ticket. Water Cooler's up next. 93.7. The Captain. Holla at your boy, and stop it in from the Peanut Gallery.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth.